Welcome to this week's op-ed edition of YMP's Podcast Now. It was 6 months ago that MacRumors reported that Apple surpassed Microsoft in quarterly revenue for the first time in nearly 15 years, marking a milestone on Apple's tremendous performance in recent years. But despite being passed by Apple in the revenue metric, Microsoft continued to hold off Apple in quarterly profits due to the high profit margins achievable with its software business. Well, that finally changed this past quarter, with Microsoft announcing a net profit of $5.23 billion US for the first calendar quarter of 2011. Apple last week reported profits of $5.99 billion US over the same period. Apple has passed its longtime rival Microsoft in a number of metrics over the past year, beginning with market capitalization back in late May 2010. Apple's market cap is now nearly $100 billion higher than Microsoft's. So, Billy Balmer? According to GigaOM, in the first quarter, Netflix added 3.6 million subscribers, ending the period with more than 23.6 million subscribers in total. That's up 69% from the 14 million subscribers it had a year ago. To put that in context, Comcast ended 2010 with 22.8 million paid TV subscribers. Ergo, Netflix now has more subscribers than Comcast. Most of Netflix's customers' additions came in the US, where it added 3.3 million new users to end at 22.8 million subscribers. Internationally, Netflix added an additional 290,000 subs to bring total international users to 800,000. Netflix's revenue for the quarter came in at $719 million US, which was 46% higher than the prior year's first quarter sales of $494 million US. The company recorded net income of $1.11 a share compared to 59 cents a share in the year-ago quarter. And what may serve as further evidence of an impending cloud-based iTunes service, a new report claims Apple has purchased the iCloud.com domain from the Swedish company Exerion for $4.5 million US. Rumor has it that Exerion claims that the desktop-as-a-service company sold the domain to Apple, reports Apple Insider. Earlier this month, Exerion rebranded its iCloud service as CloudMe and moved its website to cloudme.com. However, at the time of the report's filing, the Whois database still listed Exerion as the owner of iCloud, and the iCloud.com domain currently redirects you to cloudme.com. The iTunes cloud service is also rumored to be free at first, though Apple is expected to charge for it eventually.
Hi, I'm Tonya Engst. I work on the TidBits website, and I am editor-in-chief for the ebook series produced by TidBits, which is called the Take Control series. And here is a quick look at the cover of one of our current bestsellers. I've always felt that there's a bit of a generation gap among older geeks. I'm 43, so I count as an older geek. Some of us older geeks actually did programming on punch cards. My dad did this, he's 65. There's those of us who never used a punch card to do programming because we are a few years too young. I'm one of those never used a punch card geeks. The difference in that gap is that once I mastered the paper book and mastered drawing, writing, and math on a sheet of paper, the computer was there for me. I've always felt that the next thing in personal computing was the next thing to learn. I just grew up with personal computing, and then there was the web and the internet and the cloud and mobile computing, and I've just always been comfortable with learning the next thing as it comes along. Now, I have a 12-year-old son, so I've been paying a lot of attention to middle schoolers and technology. And I've recently learned that a nearby school district to mine, the Watkins Glen District in upstate New York, has had a very successful pilot with giving children Android tablets to use in the classroom and take home. And I've also heard the new superintendent of my school district, Ithaca City School District, talk about how schools are obsolete, just like Netflix makes Blockbuster obsolete. So I've been thinking a lot about what it would be like to grow up with a mobile computing device nearly always available and to be required to use it in school. Or what it would be like to not carry a heavy backpack to school. What it would be like to have your most important books as a teenager exist only online. And I want to show you this photo, if I may. This is my son doing homework. He's a bit camera shy. He's got a lot of paper on that table, and you can only even see about a third of the table. But I want you also to notice his attitude here. Is this a kid who looks like he's having a really good time? Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, so I think that our new superintendent is probably right. There's something kind of obsolete about what the schools are doing. And I think that in the next decade, most of the schools in the United States and in a lot of other countries will be switching to a vastly more paperless approach, and will be using mobile devices, not just for textbooks and worksheets, but for all sorts of interactive online learning. And this is already happening in a lot of places. I, in fact, think that this will be the next important geek generation gap. The gap will be whether you did most of your schoolwork online or most of your schoolwork on paper. So on the one hand, I worry about all the stuff that parents worry about with kids and technology, like will they fall out of touch with nature? But on the other hand, I see that they often socialize particularly well around handheld computers, passing them back and forth and sharing ideas, and putting a lot of energy and enthusiasm into the whole thing. And whether it's good or bad, I'm pretty sure it's happening. So I think it'll be pretty fascinating to listen to these kids reminisce about it when I'm 65. I'm Tonya, and that's my Friday opinion. Thanks.
And so we bring to the end our final recording for the month of May 2011 in the Magic Apple Kingdom, boys and girls. And let's thank to the lovely Ellen and the sister. Well, you're not old enough to know that reference. Hope you enjoyed our op-ed. Wanted to thank Tonya Engst for generously giving us her time and opinion on what's going on in Apple today. So don't forget also to check out Take Control ebooks. They're fantastic. I've got about a dozen of them. They're just packed full of knowledge. They're just priceless. Well, when I say priceless, they've came up with a price. They want you to pay for the things, but you know what I mean. So anyhow, until next week, have a great weekend, and remember, download, double click, drop out.